Hi, this is Ed Delgado, the National Predictive Services Program Manager at the National Interagency Fire Center in Boise, Idaho, with the monthly outlook for January, February, March, and April. As we get into the midst of the winter, we're in a La Nina pattern that is bringing a deep freeze to most of the country, particularly east of the Rockies to the East Coast, and that's having an impact on what our fire season may shape up to be going into the early spring. So for January, not a lot of concerns fire-wise. Still have some problems, concern areas along the Southern California coast, but recent rains there have mitigated that situation, at least briefly, until the dry weather returns. As we move into February, though, we'll start to see a problem developing across the southern plains where abundant grasses left over from last year will begin to be affected by warming temperatures associated with La Nina conditions. And if we start to see windy episodes developing, we could see some rapidly moving fires in the high fuel loading areas of Texas, eastern New Mexico, and into parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, and Colorado. California will still have a problem along the southern coast, and that's going to linger into the March and April timeframe. But as we start getting into the early spring, we'll see an expansion of some of our critical areas in the plains, where conditions continue to be dry, high fuel loadings, and the pre-green up period. We could see fire expanding, or potential for fire expanding eastward toward Arkansas and southern Missouri, and also westward into parts of the southwest across western New Mexico and into southern parts of Arizona. We'll also start to see the plains of Montana and the Dakotas become at higher risk as warmer and drier conditions and typical seasonal windy conditions in the high plains developing in those regions as well. We do have a low threat across a good portion of the eastern United States, particularly the Ohio and Tennessee valleys and down into the central Mississippi and southern Mississippi valleys going into the spring months. This pattern of La Nina is expected to bring abundant rainfall to that region over the next couple of months, which will keep conditions moist and fire potential low. So that's the outlook for this month.